Joining me now is Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House and Fox News contributor. He's also the author of Defeating Big Government Socialism. Newt, I want to get into the new American majority, which is your concept and idea in a moment. But this idea of nationalizing civics might have kind of an allure on the surface. But when you dig into what they're actually proposing in this legislation, it's a backdoor for CRT and pretty much every other nightmarish idea you can think of.
Well, look, that bill is crazy. No Republican should be for it. And as many Republicans as necessary should guarantee it'll be filibustered in the Senate and never leave. That's the kind of bill which gives the Washington bureaucrats the ability to impose on local parents and local families radical values. And I'm frankly astonished that any Republican would agree to co-sponsor that bill. And I think it's an open invitation to further creating a totalitarian left-wing mindset where they're going to tell us how we think, how we behave, what we're allowed to do. It's totally wrong. I was shocked to discover it had been introduced, and I certainly hope that the handful of Republicans who are currently co-sponsors will withdraw their names. And I hope folks back home will call them and demand that they withdraw their names.
Now, I want to play something from Princeton professor Eddie Glaude today on MSNBC when he was asked about Juneteenth.
We see extremist forces on the rise trying to, in every way, undermine our democracy. This anti-CRT movement. We need to understand the relationship between critical race theory and the replacement theory, that they go hand in hand, and voter suppression. They go hand in hand because we saw it at the latter part of the 19th century as Jim Crow was taking root.
Newt, how is this not racist?
Well, of course it's racist. Most of the racism in America today is on the left. And frankly, replacement theory is a total lie. Virtually all of us favor legal immigration. Virtually all of us agree with Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., who said it's the content of our character, not the color of our skin. Virtually all of us know that the bike tipping over in Delaware is a pretty good reflection of the way the entire federal government's tipping over. We just did a poll where 87% of the American people said that they wanted to restore the America that works. And I think that's what ultimately is going to create not a red tsunami, but a red, white, and blue tsunami, as you see Democrats, Republicans, Independents all coming together because things simply aren't working. You look at the price of everything, you look at the problems on the border, you look at the George Soros effort to create a pro-criminal class of district attorneys. Every time you turn around, you realize the left represents an America that will fail. And the only answer to that is the American people.
Newt, there was a really typical piece, I guess, in the New Yorker that just came out as a hit piece on Ron DeSantis. But one part of it, I think, perfectly illustrated why so many GOP voters have come to hate the GOP establishment. Now, this was a quote from the chief of staff to former moderate Governor Bob Martinez. He said of conservatives, he said there was always an element of the Republican Party that was crazy. They had lots of different names. They were Birchers, they were movement conservatives, they were religious right. And we did what every other Republican candidate did. We exploited them. Trump opened Pandora's box and let them out. Newt, the disdain these people have for their own voters never ceases to amaze me.
Well, you know, Lincoln said that we wanted to preserve government of the people, by the people, and for the people. The elites don't want anything to do with that. The fact is that the rebellion you've seen in this country has been a rebellion against the elites. And the fact is that Donald Trump was produced in part because the Washington elite failed. When he announced for president, 65% of the Republicans in the country disliked their national leadership. And that's why the national leadership couldn't win the presidential nomination. Ron DeSantis is a great example.
Yeah,
He's a hard-hitting, hard-working, very successful governor who's making life better for the people of Florida. Compare that to New York or to Illinois or to California.
Complete decay. Newt, great to see you as always.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.